Be a better manager in just 5 minutes a day. Hi, I'm Dr. Dominic McLaughlin, and today I would like to talk to you about how to find more time. Managers always struggle for time, and it's particularly true for new managers because you're in a new role and you've got all these people suddenly coming to you and asking for your opinion on things, seeking clarification. You've got a lot more meetings, you've got a lot more phone calls, you've got a lot more emails. All of these things can make it difficult to find time. Because it's so easy to feel overwhelmed, the first thing to do is convince yourself that time in order to think is really important. You need to be clear about your work, your team's work. You need to be clear about the priorities that you have in order to be able to respond effectively to your team. So what can we do to try and get on top of this? The first thing you can do is start with 5 minutes for 5 days. And what you want to do is find a quiet time of the day. So for me, I would come in early before everyone else got there. But for you, there might be a different time of the day that suits better. You want to make sure that you've got a quiet space, making sure your phone is off. There are no emails, there are no phone calls. Turn your phone on airplane mode, whatever you need to do to ensure that you are not being disturbed for that 5 minutes of thinking time. So what do you actually consider while you're sitting there for your 5 minutes? On the first day, you want to think about what is my number one priority. It could be the most important thing. It could be the most urgent thing. It could be the most important and urgent thing. And then what could I actually do to start on that today? Because making a little bit of progress will really help me to feel like I'm not as much under pressure. On the second day, I want to have a look at what are all the other things. So when I was looking at my list and deciding what was the most important and what was the most urgent, I also thought about all the other things on my list. So when do those things have to be done by? So that's the job for the second day. On the third day, we want to say, okay, back to my number one priority. I've got this job that I need to do. Can I break it down into tasks? Can I kind of break it up somehow, make it into simpler chunks so that it's more achievable? And then on my fourth day, I think about those tasks and I think about who in my team could contribute to those tasks. They might be because they have an expertise in that area. It could be because they're really interested in that area. It could be because it suits nicely with the other things they're doing in their role. There could be lots of reasons why a particular task would be really useful for one particular team member to do. It could even be something to give them a bit of development. And then the last day of your working week, your last 5-minute session, what you want to do is make sure you put in the following week a 1 hour planning session. Now, this is not a doing session. This is an hour to plan. And that hour is to plan how you're going to communicate to your team the top priority as you see it. Because at the moment, only you know that that's the top priority and not everyone else is aware of that. And as part of that conversation, so part of your planning, you want to think to yourself, well, perhaps I could also see who'd be interested in doing what tasks. I've already thought about how people might be able to contribute, but I might get some other ideas from people in the meeting, or I could also find out that they would rather do one element rather than another. And there might also be some other points that we need to consider in that meeting. If you'd like some more tips on how to be a better manager starting with just 5 minutes a day, then check out the free course on my website or in the link below. I'll talk to you again soon, and that's how to find more time.